Greetings, one and all, from the White Mountains of Arizona, and we have a very special one for you today. Tara and I live in Anasazi country. So today we want to get some more information on the Anasazi people. I know a little bit about them based on archaeology. Basically, what the Anasazi were, they were people native to this land who existed maybe around 2,000 years ago. And the way their civilization went is, over time, it kind of broke down into two separate factions. There was a faction of Anasazi who were into building things, and they were into individualism, and they just built cool cliffs or homes in cliffs, and they were very advanced. They had pottery like this, which is way ahead of its time. Just way ahead of its time. The pottery that came 1,000 years later is not as good as this. But then there was the other faction that were more community based, and they built stores of food for the community. They had roles, and it was more of a group based society. Eventually a drought came, and I believe that these two factions responded differently to the drought. The faction that was into building stuff, they went into more of an individual energy, and it was like every man for himself, whereas a community based group kind of worked together and managed the drought as best they could as a group. I believe that the group based in the individuals stayed on Earth, and I believe the community based group ascended. That's what I think happened. We're not sure 100%. We're going to get some more info today, but I think they ascended. History doesn't know where they went. All their pots were left behind. They just disappeared. So that's what I think happened. We're going to find out. But it's crazy because Tara and I were brought here. We didn't just come here. The universe brought us here to this very hill where there was an Anasazi village right on this hill. What I'm standing on right now is what we believe is the remnants of a sweat lodge. None of this sandstone comes from this hill. It was all brought up here. And so the universe brought us here to be in the same place where Ascension happened. So I want to get more information on that as well. I don't know who Tara's going to connect to.
Okay.
Oh, okay. What you got?
I have an older woman who says she's part of the Anasazi, but she prefers not that term because she said it's not their name. She says we're Atul.
Okay. Yeah, Anasazi means enemy, right? And they're not the enemy.
Yes. She thinks like old war.
Okay. Well, please forgive me for using the term. I don't know if I can remember Atul. Is that right? Atul?
It is okay.
Okay. I'm fascinated by your people. In the intro, I was telling people that there were two factions of Anasazi. One that was more community based and one that was more individual based. Is that correct?
That's what eventually occurred, but we weren't much aware of it at the time, that we would go our separate ways.
So it was almost like a two-world split.
Yes, we thought they all will come.
Was it only half of you?
I was going to make a joke, but I would say the half that mattered. But yes, half.
So the half that mattered, did they ascend into the higher realms?
Yes, if you look for my bones, you'll not find them. But of course, all bits of ego program stay behind. So I tap into part of my old ego program to speak to you.
Okay, so you don't consider yourself 3D earthbound. What dimension are you in?
Tricky number 7, but I'm going to 8.
The angelic realm is 7?
Yes. Too much politics.
Yeah, we learned that the angels are kind of doing their own thing, aren't they?
Well, I do my own thing.
Yeah, good. So, can you tell us more about the ascension process? How did you do it? What did the ascension look like for you?
It was just becoming more aware of your awareness. And it was nice that we could talk amongst each other, our thoughts, how we're seeing things. Let's say the deer comes to tell me something, and I want to pass this information on. But then I see it as more than just a deer. Perhaps this was a soul of a relative speaking through deer. But then we go further. What if it was our own soul? If souls live forever, then why couldn't my own soul speak through the deer to tell me a message that I would have otherwise passed off as something else? So we share this information with each other, trying to get to that other perspective. So you learn something, and then we say what could be the bigger perspective, and the bigger, and the bigger. Because we value knowledge. We want education, but to educate ourselves.
So, it was the understanding that all is one, even though it was a gradual process for you that led to your ascension?
Yes, at some point, we look around like we are waiting. What are we doing here? We feel like the next place of understanding is outside of this place. So we're waiting and waiting, and one day, poof, and no more.
What was the days leading up to your ascension like? Did you stop eating food?
It was a tumultuous time. It was, yes, no food, but also so many conflicts occurring between peoples, between leaders, and those being led, between medicine man and the one wanting medicine, between tribes, so much issue, conflict. And some wanted to escape. They say, if we continue east, we will find a nicer place. No war, no conflict. They want out. But some of us want out of the globe. This teardrop. We want out of the drop of water. Not just to go to another territory.
Did everyone in your tribe ascend?
No.
So it's a very individual basis.
It was very individual.
Did you completely strip away your ego?
I would not say strip away, as I'm utilizing part of it now. It was the toggling back and forth. Who am I now? Who is making the decision now? Who is choosing to eat or not to eat now? who is choosing to sit in the sun? Is it my ego, my ta, or is it my soul, ka? And when you learn to know the difference, it becomes like a game. You can never be offended. My soul is never offended. My ego, this is a baby crying all the time.
Okay, so it was fun for you to differentiate between ego and higher self. What was ta?
Your ego.
Ego. Okay. So in what other ways was your life different leading up to your ascension, besides not eating?
Oh, so many body changes. The baby we speak of, it was crying. The baby was crying. Why my hair is coming off my head? Why my teeth, some issues? Why my eyes not see so good? I'm not that old. Why pains? Like some would say they thought that there was some malicious force that we were transforming into, like you think a demon, something bad, you lose a hair and your teeth and your eyes. But no, it's a shifting in the body, and many people were experiencing this, and we realize if we're not eating food, then maybe it's not coming from the food. And we stop drinking water. Maybe it's not coming from the water. Then some will be scared. They listen to the crying baby and they go back. They say, I want to keep all my hair. I want to keep all my eyes, my teeth, everything. And so they go back to the old way, and they stayed. It was less scary for them. That's okay. Some of us wanted to look into our reflection in the lake and see if we couldn't see something else. Because if we're all just made of clay, then clay is moldable. And who cares what you look like?
How did you find the courage to get through the crying baby? Did you just really want to ascend?
I really wanted, yes, something more. I know that if I listen to the baby cry, I know exactly where I will stay. I know exactly how my life will be. Perhaps I will die old. Perhaps I will die young. But it's all almost predetermined. And I don't want a predetermined destiny.
So, when did you die in 3D?
You could call it a death, but it was not like you think of death. There is no body.
So your body just disappeared?
Yes, we didn't go like we thought. We thought we would fly up into the sun. We thought that sun is where our ancestors come from, and the Great Spirit, down the rainbow onto the terra, earth. But no, we didn't go up a rainbow or into the sun. We just start to see everything around us differently, like changing, fading, and poof, is something different. So what physically happened to my body, I don't know, but I know that it was no longer in the third dimension. It's like it disappeared.
So the sun and the rainbow bridge are in the cube, but you left the cube. Is that correct?
Yes, you can't roll a cube anyway.
What is the significance of the land? What role did it play in your ascension?
It's just where we could more easily talk to the earth herself, the grounds. It's where it seems like communication is open here. Yes, we always listen to the plants, and yes, we always listen to the animals, but here, everything seems to be on the same wavelength. Everyone understands each other. The animals know exactly what people are doing here, and the people know exactly what the animals want. And everybody's here for the same thing, which is to go to your own destiny, a destiny of our choosing. This is what the animals want. This is what the plants want. Me, many of my people, and the people that came before us. We want our own destiny. And so we would call this like the door of destiny. This is in a 37-mile radius.
From where we are?
Yes.
So most of the White Mountains?
Yes.
Were Tara and I brought here so that we could ascend in this lifetime?
You brought yourselves here. And yes, the land brought you too. It has to be a two-way street.
Right. So do Tara and I have a good chance of ascending in this life?
How much do you want to listen to the crying baby? That's up to you.
None. I don't like that crying baby. Okay, so this is amazing. And the people of your tribe who didn't ascend, they just went back into the ego and lived horrible lives?
It wasn't horrible. It was just an earthly life. One where they feel less scared. Well, still scared in the sense that you could get eaten, you could get into a war, you could drown, so many ways. We're very fragile. But to them, that was much less scary than disappearing altogether.
But their souls were recycled into the cube.
Yes.
And so they're going to continue to live that less scary life over and over until they decide not to.
Correct.
So, what history knows of your people, is it mostly accurate?
Maybe bits and pieces, like the pottery that you find. Bits and pieces sort of tell a story, sort of give you insight into the past, but it cannot give you the full experience. In that you have to listen to your ka, your soul, your higher self, your intuition, to fill in the blanks. If you rely solely on books and your five senses, you'll never get the total story of anything.
Amen. How was your pottery so much more advanced than the people who came thousands of years after you?
Because time doesn't exist, and the knowledge is forever in the collective consciousness. All we had to do was tap into it to create something lasting, something that we knew would outlast our bodies, so that our story could be told, so that you could use your intuition just as we had in creating it.
So I can tap into technology that doesn't exist in my linear time.
Of course.
Well, that is just fascinating. Running out of time, I want to thank you for being here with us today. I want to say I love you and thank you for helping us to ascend. Do you have any last message for the people before we go?
Tlalak mok and Yaka.
All right. Fascinating.
She's a fun energy.
Yeah, she seemed like she was happy.
She was a very happy lady. She She was like this small lady. It's like she appeared older, but while she was, her energy was like mingling with mine. She was like, we're the same age. Like,
Oh, I'm
she
just
says,
wiser than you.
yeah, she says, don't let my appearance fool you.
Ah. Well, that was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I don't want to ever give in to the crying baby.
No
What does that
crying
get
baby.
you? Fry bread and casinos?
Yeah. She was like, well, she says, there's people that want to stay here, and that's fine. She says it's less scary for them, but for her, she was like, it wasn't scary for us at all. We just wanted to be able to make their own destiny, I
Well, it
guess.
sounds scary. Their hair fell out, their teeth fell out, no more eating, no more drinking.
Yeah, and she says it was at that point because like she felt everybody was so connected to their body that they were like, oh, well, I don't want to harm the body anymore. I better go back to what I did. And she says, and they were fine. She says, but then we just kind of disappeared.
Wow. Okay, well, we'll dissect that.
Yeah.
See if we can learn something from it. I hope you guys will learn something from it.
Yeah, let us know, what did your intuition say on that one? She was very heavy on the intuition. That's where you fill in the blanks, all the missing pieces and the questions that you may have utilizing the intuition. But yeah, I mean, if there's anything else that pops up that still needs clarification, definitely let us know in the comments. And
What a beautiful day. We got to go enjoy it.
yes, so
Look at
we'll
this.
catch you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.